proud younger sister. And yes, I know I'm taller. People have been confused about that our whole lives. Growing up, people even thought we were twins until I started growing and she stopped. There's no mistaking Jacqueline as the older sister, not because of her height, but because of her strength, her kindness, and the way she always led by example. I've always been the loud, she's always been the loud one, and but I'm the calm, gentle one that, this is the wrong speech. I did this speech already in the other reception, so if you have to hear it again, I'm sorry. Even though I'm the loud, silly one, and she's the sweet, gentle one, she's always been the anchor that grounds me. Growing up, it was just the two of us for a while, best friends by default, and then best friends by choice. We squeezed into the same tiny stroller, wore matching Chinese dresses, and even fought like maniacs at Toys R Us. In fact, I scratched her cheek once so hard it scarred, and to this day, I like to think that she let me have my way afterward just to avoid another incident. Then when I was 6 and she was 8, our little sister, Julianne, was born. And let me tell you, Jacqueline took her big sister role very seriously. She would never let me hold Julianne or change her diaper because, in her words, I'm the older one, so I get to do it. But thankfully we grew up and eventually Julianne started choosing me to play toys with more, so I won in the end. We're so different in many ways. I'm more introverted, and she's a social butterfly who would make all the friends first and slowly squeeze me into the circle. She's kind-hearted, trusting, and a little bit gullible. And I've always admired how she sees the best in people, even when they don't deserve it. That pure heart of hers is one of her greatest gifts. Honestly, this is the only time I will ever say this out loud, but I look up to her. I admire her faith, her strength, and her heart. Now, I can't talk about Jacqueline without bringing up the one thing we love to roast her for. She is a horse girl. You might have seen a lot of times in the video just now. She stayed loyal to the bit. We thought it would fade with age. But she was so easy to buy gifts for. We just always got her horses. But jokes aside, I've come to realize how fitting that love for horses really are. Horses symbolize loyalty, bravery, and wild-hearted freedom. They're strong, unbreakable, and don't take orders unless they trust you. Jacqueline may look sweet and small, but Paul, this is your final chance. This girl is really fierce, as you've definitely dealt with before. She's bold, she's, as my dad said, stubborn. She will fight for the people she loves, and she will not back down easily. She's the kind of woman you want on your side, but maybe not when she's losing an argument. And of course, I have to thank our parents for having me second. Really, it was a power move. Jacqueline got to test run everything first, from chores to always getting yelled at first, to very questionable fashion choices. So I could learn from her mistakes and skip all the hard parts. And because she's the eldest, it's basically her job to give me everything I want. That's just a rule. But in all seriousness, thank you for raising a sister as wonderful, as godly, and as full of love as Jacqueline. You gave her the foundation to become who she is, and I've been lucky to grow up in the light of that. Now let's talk about Paul. When Jacqueline first showed me a picture, I was like, oh, yay, nice. She's always had an interesting taste in guys, so I wasn't expecting much. But then he walked into our house for the first time, and I swear the sun followed him in. He had the biggest, most contagious, glowing smile I've ever seen. He greeted us like he already belonged, like he knew we were going to love him, and we did instantly. I mean, at first I was like, can he stop smiling? It's so suspicious. But from him I learned that joy comes from something deeper, from a faith that's been tested, from living a life that hasn't always been easy, and from a relationship with God that radiates through everything he does. That's what I admire most about Paul, is that his joy is real. It's rooted in service, in care, and in love. And just to add, since y'all were not there, during rehearsal dinner, we did the practice 3 times, and guess what? He sobbed every single time my sister walked down the aisle. And that was super contagious as well, because I can see the soulful, real, and raw love he has for my sister. And also, he's always in our kitchen. I'm not sure if he just lives there or really likes our pots and pans. But honestly, he fits so seamlessly into our lives that it feels like he's been part of our family forever. I'll never forget when Paul called me to tell me he was going to ask Jacqueline's hand in marriage. I was screaming and I was bragging to all my friends. Look guys, this is Paul. You don't know how much I praise you behind your back. I've never doubted, not even for a second, that you would be the best husband for my sister. You love her, protect her, and lead her with such grace. You've already been the best big brother I never asked for, but I'm very lucky to have. And now to Jacqueline, a piece of my heart, my story, and my soul. Like a mosaic, our relationship has its messy, chaotic edges, but it's also been full of color, laughter, and beauty. Excuse me. I've had the honor of living my entire life with you right beside me, holding me from the beginning, making space for me even when I was annoying. You've always made room for me, whether it was in the stroller, your closet, or your heart. And now I make room in mine, another piece to my mosaic, as I share you with someone who is clearly worthy of your love. Watching your relationship with Paul grow has been a blessing. Your passion for Christ, your maturity, and your faith-filled love are something I hope to have one day as well. So here's my imaginary glass that I also forgot. So here's to both of you, to faith, to laughter, to late-night kitchen chats, and to a lifelong love that reflects the very best of who you are together and who God has called you to be. I look forward to all the Bible studies we will have in your new home. I thank God you didn't move far away, 4-minute drive, since I still need a kitchen to raid and a brother to pick me up when I'm stranded downtown. I love you both so much. Cheers!